Well, I think, just as was the case when Pope Francis was elected, now that you have the announcement of the new Secretary of State, given that he's the second highest ranking official in the Vatican, there's a great deal of interest about what he's going to say. But in reality, when Archbishop Parolin said what he said, that's not a change either, because the practice of celibacy goes back as a mandated expectation for priests, over about 1,000 years ago. But I think the issue that he's saying, it's not a dogma. It is a discipline that in the past has had great significance for the Church. And I think even from his comments that we ought not to see this as a decision from the past, but it still can have value even to this day.
So you're saying it should be open for discussion.
Well, but I think
Do you agree with that?
Well, I think the thing is, it's important always to be able to discuss important realities. When you're dealing with dogmas, that's one thing. There can't be any change of dogmas. But if you're talking about a discipline or practice, there should be discussion on it. Once again, I don't think that discussion necessarily means that it's going to change. But also at the same time, it's important for people to be able to discuss it from lots of different angles.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you think his comments, his views, are going to have any bearing whatsoever on celibacy in the Church?
Well, I hope that people through the discussions will have a much deeper appreciation of why celibacy has been an important part of the tradition, and why it continues to have a good stand in the life of the Church today.
Mm-hmm. And you're obviously, you feel like it's important.
I do, but I also think it's also important to talk about it, because not much is accomplished when you say you can't talk about things. And I think especially because you have a new Holy Father, you have a new Secretary of State, they're saying if this has been an issue, and it continues to be an issue for an awful lot of people, then we need to be able to discuss it. We need to be able to hear it out. And also to say it's not simply, an archaic discipline that was established in the past, but it also does have a good, fresh meaning in the present as well.
You don't seem like you're offended at all.
No, not at all. Oh, no, not at all. Absolutely not. Because I think it is very important, and I try to do that in terms of my own leadership. As much conversation as we can have over things brings a much better understanding of the issues that we talk about. And I think that's what's so refreshing, about Pope Francis's leadership. And I think that's an important consideration here when we take a look at this topic, as I'm sure there'll be many others down the road as well.